Hey, it's me, unapologetically T, and went on a field trip today. I was going for my little walk, and I ended up stopping by another historical site for the surrender of um, the Confederacy. You know, I like to talk to spirits, so when I be in certain spaces and certain places, I pick up energies, I pick up spirits, and I found it quite interesting. I was talking to one of the park workers, and I find it funny that I think that white people are waking up far as the injustice and the atrocities that have happened to what America calls minorities. We're not minorities though. But what they call minorities, you can't exterminate people and then call them a minority. I think that's kind of, cliche. Not even cliche, but I think it's kind of evil and wicked. Not kind of, it is evil and wicked. And we're not the minorities. You literally human trafficked some of my ancestors, and then some of my ancestors were already here. And you literally try to exterminate them, depending on, your motives. And so, but what I was recording for is because I found it interesting that a lot of us, a lot of white people, a lot of white people I think are waking up to the atrocities and the injustice that was committed. Oh, my bad. Let me pause real quick. Yeah, so yeah, I need to wash my hair. You can see the snow flaking. And it's dry as shit. So, but it's growing, y'all. It's growing. So I must be doing a good job taking care of it. But anyway, I was talking about you should be used to me by now. God damn it. It just is what it is over here. You get what you get. You get what you get for the moment that you're getting it. So literally, I find that look, the ratchet nerd. I find it real interesting that I find it interesting that white people are waking up, and there's white people that's them aware and literally trying to make a difference, and trying to not only make a difference and trying to be aware, but also trying to use empathy and understand what it feels like to be in other people's shoes that you might not can understand just from them speaking. So they have museums, they have different things for you to engulf yourself in, and so that you can get an understanding of some type of understanding of what has happened to the disenfranchised. But I find it interesting that I was talking to him. He was an older gentleman. He's a sweetheart. Did not pick up that he was racist whatsoever. However, what I did realize is when he was talking, we was talking to each other, and there was mentioning of we were talking because I'm gonna ask people how they feel about stuff. I'm gonna pick your brain. So I was just what did he think about? I was already getting signs and signals and bells and whistles and spirits talking to me in that room. And literally we was at the McLean house, and we was talking about how things are currently now. And so this is history. Let's fast forward to now. And we were talking, and he was saying how he's never seen this happen with an administration and all this stuff. And I'm not gonna get into details or whatever about what we talked about, but the wording, the way that he viewed it was like, this is something new. And so I did tell him, I was like, to be African American, to be a Native American descent, like literally, this is nothing new. And I'm a worldwide resident. Like, it's all in this. It's in my DNA, like different parts of this world. So literally, this is nothing new to me. Like, this is nothing new to me. I think what we're seeing is that it is blatant in your face and you can't ignore it. Like, but it just went off in my head, like, white people, and I felt this when I was in Alabama and I went to the Black History Museum. Like, white people may never fully understand that this shit has been corrupt since the beginning. It is not just it's not just happening now. I think it's just that you are feeling it. Like, you're just now being able to feel like these people don't give a fuck about you. And I feel like if you were a Confederate Southerner and that is a part of your history, you are already aware that these people didn't give a fuck about you. Like, because you literally watched as deals were brokered and made, and the elitists, like, I know this girl said this on the internet, that's not mine. Like, she literally was like, we call them the elitists, but we need to call them the deletists. But the elitists literally were broken deals and making deals, and literally the common people got fucked. And if you really study your history, I hate this fact because literally white people will try to use this fact as a way to like distance themselves from slavery and the atrocities that happened, and you can't do that. But like, literally, it is factually true that only a small percentage, they'll say 1%, but it was a small percentage regardless of what percent. Only a small percent could afford to fucking have slaves. So like, even if you had, like, far as like plantation slavery, some people had like slaves, some people had indentured service, but some people had slaves, but they didn't have plantations. Those people, that was like a top percent of wealthy people. Wealthy people literally were able to own a plantation full of slaves. People had slaves, and it wasn't just a plantation full of slaves. And I think the more you have, the less quality, the worse the conditions going to be for them, because you are looking at it as profit. Whereas if you probably had 2 or 3, like, you probably treated them better because you probably did not have the means and the resources to mistreat them too badly, because you literally might not wake up in the morning because you only had a few. You didn't have a whole plantation where you had other people keeping them in line and all that stuff and blah blah blah. So, and I'm not saying that ones that owned lesser ones, like fewer numbers of slaves, were God sent and acted right. To own a slave is really fucking sick, and it speaks a lot about you as a person, as a human being. Like, it almost makes you not human when you do stuff like that. So literally, I'm not condoning slavery with the fuck so ever, because literally I'm still pissed off about it. Like, I'm still, like, I really do. Like, I be having to check myself. Like, what do I do with this anger that lives in me? Because it's not going to go away, but it's like, how do I manage this anger of what has happened to my lineage, and the effects that it had on me. So, like, literally, we're living with the trauma from our lineages, and then we're also living out real time. So not only are we able to revisit that shit in their time and what happened to them in their different time periods and all that shit, like, if you know how to do it, you know how to do it. But like, we're also living out our own story, and we're living out our own trauma that literally is triggered from that. It is literally unresolved bloodline trauma that literally is in our stories happening in real time. And so I find it funny that, like, when white people say, like, this, we never seen it, like, I feel like media wise, that blatant, that in your face on media wise. But like, to be Black, to be indigenous, to be an original person to certain lands. We This is nothing new to us. We see it every day. We see it when we go into the grocery store. We see it when we go outside. We see it when we go to school. We see it when we take our children to schools. We see it in any of these systems that are existing off of that design. We see that shit every day blatantly in our face. But because you are white, you only get a taste of injustice, like of you not maybe having your way. Well, our conditions that we are brought up in and we grow up in, what you see with this government and this presidency is what we see every day. We see how unfair life is and how fucked up it really is, like how wicked it really is. And like that shit he show on TV and that shit they show on TV has nothing, like it can't even touch what really happens to you in reality. It really doesn't give a good example of what happens to you in reality. So like literally I think that white people are waking up to seeing that shit is unfair and shit is not right, and like they can see it because it's starting to happen to them. And I really would like to say, like, you really need to do something before like you're in conditions that we were in. Like, you don't want this shit to be like repeating. Like, you really should do something about that. Like, you really should, you know, you the people. Like, I mean, it's we the people at the end of the day. Like, if you're on the right cause, like if you understand God, like it's we the people, period. But I just feel like white people have a responsibility because you were never treated right in the beginning either, anyway. Like, y'all just were given a set of privileges to feel like you were one up over us so that we could be underneath you, and they knew that. Like, they knew that if they gave you a set of privileges, like, you wouldn't give a fuck about what they were doing because you were complacent and you were above us. And so, like, literally, like, that's that privilege we be talking about. And that privilege that we be talking about is going away. Like, y'all don't want to have the conversations that, like, y'all are. We got called welfare kings, like, in the 90s. In the 2000s, it was like welfare kings and queens. Like, they talked about ghetto black people and poor black people. And it was just like, the whole time, y'all are the recipients for this shit. Like, y'all niggas getting Medicaid and getting ramps built and shit. We don't even know nothing about that on average. On average, we don't even know that, like, oh, if you got a disability, like, you can get a ramp built or, like, whatever, like, through your Medicaid. Like, y'all be benefiting off of these things way more than we do. Way more than we do. Statistically speaking, like, y'all are the recipients, percentage-wise, that literally receive. Statistic wise, black people are we're the ones that keep this economy going. We're the consumers. We're the number one fucking consumers. Like, but we're the number one people getting treated bad. And it's like, y'all be making it seem like it's us. And then it's literally y'all that be receiving the benefits and the perks of what's happening. And we're being put in the poor conditions mentality wise and environment wise. Like, environmental wise, like, we be put in poor conditions. Like, it's kids who ain't never left their fucking neighborhood. And like, I come out here to the country and I realize, like, it's kids that ain't never really left the rural area. It's like I done went from one hood to another hood. It's just the country hood. And I used to talk about that, like, because I remember, like, being a kid, and I'm like, the country people be poor too. Like, they remind me of the ghetto black kids, like, in the hood. It's just that we're in an urban area. Like, growing up in Richmond, it was like more of an urban area. It wasn't real rural. And so, literally looking at the rural areas, like, it's just that y'all got land. Like, y'all got land, but we're in the same boat. And I feel like, at what point do we wake up and we realize, like, we all were fucked in this? We all were fucked in this. Some of you participated based off of conditioning and brainwashing that you were better than someone else. And it's like, now you're starting to realize, like, people are people. You got good people and bad people and all group identifiers. You got good mothers, you got bad mothers, you got mothers that's in between. You got it's just literally character. Like, judge people off their character. Like, don't judge people off of group identifiers. Like, you gonna fuck up every time. And it's just like, but that it hit me. It hit me real hard today. Like, a lot of white people really think that, like, what's happening right now is like the worst thing that's happened. And it's like, that's why black people and other people who are disenfranchised, literally, when shit like this stuff be happening, like, we be still laughing and smiling because this is not the worst shit that has ever happened to us. You're just now seeing it. You're just now feeling it. But this is not the worst shit that has ever happened to us. And I was just in there, like, a lot of spirits was like communicating. It's a lot of like Confederate soldiers that like really felt fucking bamboozled. There's a lot of Northern soldiers who really felt fucking bamboozled. Literally, people be puppets, and like then they realize we're puppets, and it's not just people, it's all of us. Like, we realize we puppets. When everything is said and done, because niggas don't follow through with the promises they done made you. They sold you a dream and literally had you fight a war for them, while they just sat there and sat back and waited for you to finish. And either way, they was gonna have their way. So literally, what I learned from this field trip today was, we're fighting spiritual wars internally, and we're fighting spiritual wars externally as well. Like, we're fighting physical wars, we're fighting biological wars. There's a lot of chemical warfare, biochemical warfare. There is a lot of war going on so many different planes and realms of existence and realities. And one of the things that I realized while I'm restudying war and strategy of war, like, first of all, a lot of times leaders got caught because someone on the inside was leaking their information. And that's something that can't happen this go around. Like, it literally just is not possible, because like, you literally could tell them everything and they still can't fucking beat God. And so, because this is no longer, man against man. This is God. Like, you really, you're messing with God. You have been the whole time. And this is a long game, not a short one. And so literally, that's not gonna work this go around. So the things that worked in the past ain't gonna work this go around. So, like, trying to infiltrate systems of ours, of God's, you can't do it. God designed this. And it's like, you can allow someone to feel like they have the power, and they have the power and the authority to do things, and they'll get so complacent that, like, literally they will think that they are all powerful. And so that's a downfall. That is literally a downfall for man or woman. And so, like, now we can't even, back in the day it was like, oh, every kingdom has fallen because of a woman or a friend, or like, it's always someone close to you. That can't happen no more. Like, literally it won't happen no more. It doesn't mean that people won't betray you. It just means that they won't stop no show. They won't stop what's happening. Like, what's gonna happen, what's happening now. Then what else came to me was, while I was in there, it was that, like, literally, so usually people get infiltrated. So you got spies, somebody snitching, possession, some shit be happening. So literally, that's not going to be a way for them to stop what's happening. Then you also have situations where shit, it's left me. All I can say is, this hasn't left me, and maybe that left me because my ancestors said shut the fuck up. So literally, this won't stop. This message won't stop. This rang in my head all day long while I was here, and it was just like, they can't stop God's plan. Like, you can't stop God's plan. Like, what is happening, and it will not stop. Literally, God has been preparing everyone who has a part to play. Even if it is someone evil and wicked and literally fighting on the wrong side of the team, nigga, they a part of the plan. Literally, they can't break you. They can't stop you. They can't make you. They can't do none of that shit. If you have loyalty to God, like, feel your feelings, learn what you got to learn from them situations, and keep that shit moving, because they can't stop what God got planned. And I'm so fucking happy. And I'm so fucking happy because, like, literally, you can't stop it. We are the ultimate intelligence. And I'm not saying, like, compared to, there's other animals on this planet, like, literally way more intelligent than humans. However, when I'm thinking about we are the ultimate intelligence, when I think about all this artificial shit and all these men and women creating all this fake fraudulent shit, our intelligence will always outbeat that. Like, literally, it will always outbeat that. And those who are trying to become dependent on this intelligence, literally, I would say, warrant to you for you to get more comfortable and you doing what you can for yourself, literally. So I don't mind people looking at AI as a standpoint of learning the systems and how it works and, all that shit, but, like, don't get too comfortable with artificial intelligence. Unless you want to be an unintelligent human. That's all I can tell you. Like, but this is all God's plan. This is all God's plan. This ain't my plan. This ain't her plan, his plan. It's God's plan. And collectively, we are doing whatever we got to do to make sure that the show keeps on going. So literally, yeah, dear white people, what you're seeing unfold from your actual elected officials, and I'm not talking about local governments, I'm literally talking about the corruption you can see on the higher level. And it's not just executive, it is judicial, it is Congress, it is corruption all in that fucking system, and all of these systems, and it was rigged that way from the very fucking beginning. And literally, you're just now waking up to seeing it because it affects you now. And so literally, I just want y'all to put your faith in God and not man, woman, or these fucking systems. So that's that.